Hey friends, Sleepy here. Welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. Friday's here, so we're going to do a recap and talk about the games I played this week. Would love to hear your thoughts though, so if you played any of the games I shared with you today, let me know if you liked them. Maybe there's something you didn't like about them. Always enjoy hearing about the games you guys are playing as well, as that gives me ideas of games that I would like to check out. And if you guys have recommendations on any titles you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. Always looking for more games to play and experience. And I definitely want to beat more games this year, so that's my goal. So please keep the recommendations coming along. It's been a great week for me for gaming. Finally had a few days off from work. I haven't had to work as much as I did last week, so I've had more time to game. I've got the same game that I was playing last week, and then I also started a new one. So we'll start off with that first one. It's for the Nintendo Switch, and that is Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, which this is a really awesome retro shooter, or like a boomer shooter, first-person perspective, where it looks and feels like it was a game from the 90s, which I really like. And you also get to play as a veteran space marine from the Ultramarines. Now, this is actually a spin-off / sequel to the Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, the first one, which is really cool. And you play as Malum Cato, so he's a veteran space marine of the Ultramarines. And you are tasked by an Inquisitor to go to the Forge World of Graia to stop the forces of chaos from taking a ancient artifact that they're trying to get to give them power over the world, and so you have to go there to stop them. I'll read you guys from the back. Load up your bolt gun. A modern homage to retro FPS. Purge as a mighty space marine. Blast and shred the heretics. So let's check out Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun. Alright guys, back with some more Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun action. If you guys are fans of first-person shooters and you love the Warhammer universe like I do, you've got to play this game. It is in a retro style, or a boomer shooter as people call it, so it makes it as if it was created in the 90s. If you guys played the classic 90s first-person shooters like Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff, it'll remind you of that, which is really awesome. Now, I'm playing it on the Nintendo Switch because this was the only version that got released physically. You can get it digitally on the Xbox and PlayStation consoles, that's what I would recommend playing it on, because this one does have some slowdown and long load times. I don't know if it's just because it's the Switch version and it was ported badly, or if the console really is struggling to run it, which I wouldn't think it would be that difficult to run a game like this. But you do have to realize that if you play the Switch version, you are going to have to deal with some of that slowdown and glitches and stuff. So I did want to warn you guys. I love that the game is broke up into 3 chapters, and then each chapter has so many different levels in it, which I'm currently on Chapter 2, so you can go here. And I beat all of Chapter 1, all those missions, and then I'm currently on Chapter 2, Mission 3 of that. And then there's a 3rd chapter. And I do want to buy the DLC for this, Forges of Corruption. It's only $5.99, and it adds a new chapter with a bunch of more missions for you to play through, which I'm looking forward to checking that out. And then they also added a Horde mode, which was free to add. So let's check it out, guys. Now you guys can see the long load times. I do have to warn you about. With the Switch version, it does take quite a while to load, as you'll see here. And I do love that it gives you a little description of what's going on in the levels. So this is tunnels beneath. The vault we're searching for is somewhere within these caves. They appear to have been formed by some kind of indigenous fauna. Stay vigilant and watch your step. So there you guys go. You can see that there's a long time to load there, like almost a minute. But once you're loaded in, you're pretty good to go for a majority of the level. You don't really want to have any more loading or any issues. Now there's a whole bunch of enemies down here. Amazing. There's a plague toad. Got a variety of weapons too, so you got your classic bolter gun that you start with, but you can get a shotgun, a plasma gun, and a heavy bolter. I'm not sure if there's any other weapons besides these four, but so far these are the only four that I found. And you'll find lots of health drops, ammo drops and stuff, and your contempt, which is basically your shields. I got 200 health and 153 for the contempt. You also are equipped with a chain sword that you can use. Chainsaw your enemies. It's awesome. It does come in handy when they swarm you. It's got a cool menu system too here. Looks really awesome. You got the options here. There's a lot of stuff in here. You can adjust your gameplay. I do recommend adjusting this to your liking. You can adjust the controls as well, your sensitivity. I had to adjust this a bit for myself just because it kind of moved too slow, so adjust it how you need for yourself. You can check out the Joy-Cons, see your controller layout and tell you what buttons do what. You can actually adjust stuff as well. You can adjust your display settings, audio, and then this retro menu is cool where you can adjust the retro palette with how pixelated you want things to be. I found myself with, I like the setting like this, so I keep it there that way. There's also this accessibility menu, which is great. It gets you can make yourself invulnerable, have all the weapons, have infinite ammo. It's great for people who are maybe new to first-person shooters and need a little help playing through the game, because it is not an easy game. So it's really cool to have that. I'm not using it at all. This for me would defeat the purpose of playing and how fun the game is. But I've been playing on the normal difficulty and I've been having a lot of fun. Each level is anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour long, just depending on how thorough you are and if you try to investigate everything like I do, trying to find all the secrets, because every level is packed with secrets for you to find, and it keeps tracked down at the bottom and how much kills percentage there are, because you don't have to kill all the enemies in the level, but if you do, you get a better score with it. So I've been trying to kill everybody. Let's continue our journey, killing all the heretics. So there's a variety of enemies here, lots of creatures from the warp, all kinds of demons. There's also chaos space marines you'll fight, and there's also space marine terminators. So if you guys know about the Terminator, they're the really big space marines, but you have to fight those as well. There's also bosses in this game, and some of them are absolutely brutal, difficult, and others aren't as bad. A lot of times you gotta learn their patterns and just understand when they're telegraphing an attack and getting out of the way and hiding and stuff, and not just guns blazing. Sometimes you have to have tactics and stuff. Bastard. Lesser plague toads. And different enemies have weakness to different weapons, so sometimes you might notice one's not really going down. You might want to change up the weapon you're using against them in order to take them down, because they have different resistances to the different weapons. That's why you have a variety of them. And I just love how absolutely bloody and violent and brutal the game is. It's great. Toads get very annoying at times. Got him with a grenade. Oh, out of bolts already. If you do get lost, you can hit the minus button and it'll tell you where the path is to go. Because sometimes they can get lost in these labyrinths. You have a health meter, and you also have a content meter. Your content meter is basically like what shield is your shields. Oh shit! One of those guys. A little mini boss. Shit! Bastards are quick. Got him. And try to remember where your health icons are and things like this, because you can backtrack in levels, and sometimes you may have to backtrack a distance to get a health pack or something, and sometimes you might need it for a crucial moment. You also have some special abilities, like you have a super speed run that you can do, but you can pair it with your jumping, so you can use that. Then you can make it to jump extra long distances, which is sometimes needed for different areas. You also have a handy little servo skull that accompanies you on your mission, and he's the one talking to you and giving you directions and telling you what your mission is and where to go. So that's when you push the little button, it gets you where to go. Ooh, a new weapon, a grenade launcher. So there is more weapons, awesome. First time I've encountered a new weapon. Awesome. So that's cool. Definitely want to save this for like a boss or something. And then you can save at any time too. That's another good thing I love about this game is I recommend making lots of saves and save often, especially after a really difficult area, because you'll hate yourself if you get really far and then die and then have to do all that over again. So I love being able to save anywhere you want to. It definitely helps a lot, especially in this game. Immense Purge Protocol, so now it's like a gauntlet here. You will encounter these sometimes where you just get swarmed by enemies that will spawn all around you, and you just have to just keep fighting your way till they're dead, and then you fight the mini-boss at the end, which is usually a Chaos Terminator. These can be absolutely frantic, but some of my favorite parts of this, because it just gets absolutely chaotic. Just fighting hundreds of enemies just everywhere. Purging all these damn heretics. Ooh, a secret! Damn, look at all that blood. Mayhem. That makes it awesome. Shit's one of those big assholes. I hate those big bastards. Take a lot to take down. Oh, there's a Chaos Space Marine. They're not as bad as I thought they would be. This door here has the blood on it and won't let you proceed until you beat all of the little enemies in that mini-boss. Some of these little bastards are quick. Holy shit! Looks like I found the boss of the area. Looks like he's glitched this.
helps me out. Fuck, does he do a lot of damage? Got him almost down though. Got him. Damn, I hate those toes. Just wanted to give you guys a little taste of the game, get a feel for what it's like. It's definitely one I think you guys should check out if you're a huge fan of Warhammer 40,000 like I am and you love first-person shooters. Definitely check this game out.
Alright, that was our look at Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun. Hope you enjoyed checking out the footage. I've had a lot of fun with this game. I actually beat it this week. Was really enjoyable experience. Had a lot of fun with it. I got like 16 hours totals for me to beat the game. Now, of course, I did not get all the secrets. You know, the game is broke up through the different chapters, and then there's levels within each chapter for you to go through, and some of them are shorter. You know, you can beat in 15, 20 some minutes, but some of them can be up to almost an hour long, depending on how quickly you go through it, the difficulty setting you're at, because I'm just playing it on medium difficulty. I would recommend keeping it on the medium difficulty until you get really good at the game, because it is really brutal, especially the further along you get. There's different boss battles and stuff. It was just a really enjoyable experience. Now, it has a pretty cool story, but it's nothing that's going to be like earth-shattering or anything, you know. It's just simple like cutscenes and stuff for you to check out, and the story goes through the narrative, but the main focus is obviously just playing through the game and purging all the various heretics, because you have a variety of different demon creatures, and then you also have the Chaos Space Marines. There's also the Chaos Space Marine Terminator ones. Those are the really big Space Marines, and then there's just several bosses, huge variety of weapons. You know, you have your classic bolter gun, heavy bolter gun. You also have a chainsword, so you can melee enemies in the game, which is cool. And I just have had a lot of fun with it. It was really bloody and violent, and just an overall very enjoyable experience. Highly recommend it if you guys love the Warhammer series and you've never played it before. I recommend you pick up a copy. Now, I would say get it digitally on the Xbox or PlayStation consoles. Sadly, it was not released physically on there. Only for the Switch got a physical version. It's just that the Switch version has issues, long load times. There's graphical issues at times, hiccups, you know, the frame rate will drop and stuff. So it would definitely be more enjoyable on the Xbox or PlayStation consoles. But if you want to get it physically like I do, you'll have to get it on the Switch, because that's the only version they released for some reason. I have no idea why, but that's just how it is. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I definitely think you guys should check it out. Now, our other game is one that's for the Sega Dreamcast, and I've not played this one. I think it's 2019 was the last time I played it, and I just decided to start over. And that is the game called Silver, which is a really cool, old-school, isometric action RPG. Now, it has, similar to like Resident Evil, where it has the static backgrounds, but then you have the 3D models that run around in it. You can adjust the camera a little bit as far as like moving it around the screen, but you can't rotate it or anything because of it obviously being pre-rendered backgrounds. But I'll read you guys from the back. Silver, a corrupt and sinister sorcerer, rules the land of Jara with an iron fist. He and his henchmen have abducted the village women as part of a pact with the almighty god Apocalypse. Now only one man can put a stop to Silver and his minions. It's you, David, a promising young knight determined to save his beloved. The right side of vengeance is coming. Wield your sword, slash through your opponents in real-time combat, interact with scores of different characters, recruit allies each with unique abilities, travel through hundreds of beautiful but dangerous locations, marvel at vivid special effects, powerful magical spells, and mighty weaponry that you will acquire on your journey. So it's a really cool game. It's also released for the PC, but I only haven't played it on the Dreamcast, and the basic idea of the game is you're trying to collect these magical orbs to help you defeat Silver, and there's 8 of them, and I've acquired 2 of the 8 so far this week. So let's check out some gameplay of Silver. Hey guys, today we're checking out Silver. Now this is a really cool isometric action RPG for the Sega Dreamcast. It was also released on PC, but I've only ever played it here on the Dreamcast. Now I first found out about this game because of one of the demo discs that I had for the Sega Dreamcast, and I played that demo and beat it many times, and because of it, I eventually bought a copy of it. And I got pretty far in the game, but never completed the game, and so I decided I wanted to start it all over from the very beginning and go through and finally beat it. There's a bunch of main story missions to go through. You got side missions. It's got great voice acting, which I really love. The graphics are decent. Obviously, we're talking old Dreamcast games. It's got pre-rendered backgrounds with 3D character models that run around. So, it's a classic title. So let's check it out here. Get us loaded up. And on this one, number 3. And because, we're talking an old Dreamcast game, it's going to have longer load times. It's not going to be like modern games, so, you're going to have a little bit long loading times sometimes. But what's cool is, you play as the main character here, his name David, but as you go through your quest, you will eventually recruit new allies that you can bring along with you, but you also can switch with them with the D-pad, which is cool. So you can switch between the different ones, and they all have their own different stats, their own strengths and weaknesses, which is cool. You can bring up a nice little menu for each of the characters. And there's things for like healing yourself, so there's food items you can eat, there's potions, they have magic abilities that you can do, long-range attacks, like they have a short bow here, but you also have a catapult, so it's just basically a slingshot that shoots rocks. Sometimes they have magical weapons, so she has a magical ice wand. And then you have, cool here is you can check out their stats about them and see, like, I'm currently level 4, what your HP is, how much magic you have, because every magic attack uses mana, so you have to refill that. What the strength of the character is, what their dexterity is, their range skill, their constitution, their wisdom, and armor class. And then it also talks about all the things you have: orbs, range, magical, backpack, your shields you found. There's a world map too you can go into, how much gold you have, because you can use gold to buy stuff. So all your classic stuff you'd have in an action RPG is here. So let's get her equipped here with a sword. And then let's also get her equipped with a shield. There we go. Alright. And so each area is broke up into like a little area that you can run through. And so then you have to continue on. So it's not like a big, long, spanning, giant areas. Like I said, you can see the pre-rendered background and stuff. And so there are 3D models within that world. And the camera changes with you. So there's no rotating cameras or anything, because obviously this is a static image. So that's what you get with that. So let's get up here. And you just have to transition between different areas. And it'll change perspective with the camera too. They're not all going to look the same. There's also some cool hidden things, like there's a hidden chest down here, which I need to get this amulet of seeing so that I can find those hidden chests. And there's a huge variety of random enemies too. All kinds of different goblins, creatures, there's different humans you'll fight, so you have a huge variety of enemies to battle, as well as there's a lot of different bosses in the game. Some are easier than others, and so it's really cool. You gotta change your tactics and everything, but overall it's a really fun game, and I've been having a lot of fun with it this week. There is a strategy guide for this, which I do own. I do recommend that if you want to get 100% everything in the game and find all the secrets and stuff. You could also use an online guide, but I prefer my strategy guide. So I do have the strategy guide for this, which has been very helpful. Still pretty early in the game. I'm trying to get these 8 orbs total. And currently I just got my second one just recently. I just beat a boss for it. And so we're continuing our journey here. Let's get him. Dun. And there's a variety of locales. So, sometimes you might be in the forest area, sometimes you're in a snowy area. You can get into your dungeons and caves and things. So it's really cool having a variety of environments to explore. And some enemies will actually drop items when you kill them. So you can get health items, sometimes you can get weapons and stuff, which is cool. So you definitely want to kill everything you can, because you also earn XP, which you then level up for and makes you stronger. So obviously killing everything you can is key in this. And the AI usually is pretty good at helping out, but sometimes they'll just stand around, and it is what it is. It's just the AI can be wonky and buggy at times. But they do help out, though. So we killed him, he dropped a pie, and he dropped some gold. Ooh, an apple too. Another pie. So we got some more goodies from them. Oop. And some bread. So, like her, she needs to eat something, so we can get her and give her an apple. And then that'll heal her, because you have different levels to your health bar. When it's full green, you're at full health, then it goes to yellow, and then it'll go to like red, and then when it's all down to black, they'll die. Now when you beat an area or something, if your companions die, they'll revive once the battle is over. So, but if you all die, obviously you fail and you have to reload your save file. But they do not heal themselves, so you'll have to switch to them to make them heal. So I try not to get mobbed by enemies, so I only try to lure a few at a time, because you can get overwhelmed if you go through the screen and have them all chase you. You end up having like 10, 15 enemies at you, and they'll swarm and kill you. So it's best to try to take them out in little groups so you don't get overwhelmed. You can hold the left stick down, and then you can move the camera around to see in different areas. Now, if there's a doorway or something, it will actually highlight the door, and you can click a button, then you can actually make the your character run to that door if you want to. Because originally, this game was a PC game, so it was played with a mouse and keyboard, and so you're clicking around and stuff. But obviously, being on a console, you're using a controller, so they had to adapt the controls for the console. But it does control very well. And I much prefer playing these kind of games with a controller over playing with a mouse and keyboard. So I'll, real quick, we'll teleport back to our main camp, and then I can talk to somebody there so you guys can
see at least hear what the dialogue is like, because they have pretty good voice acting in this game too. And I love that they have fast travel. That's very awesome having, so you don't have to keep backtracking everywhere. And then this is our dude where you save at him.
I am the chronicler. I shall record your adventures in my book of legends. Tell me of your deeds.
So anytime he appears, use him to save, because he'll always appear sometimes, but right before a big boss battle, or after you beat a boss, make sure that you interact with him and save, because after that, he'll disappear. And if you don't save with him and you die at some point, you'll have to go all the way back to where you saved. So it's important to save all the time. Click on him. Pick the save file you want to save at. So we'll just do number 3 here. And then you can edit it down here, however you want to name it, which is cool. You can name it yourself. And then if you want to just leave it like I do, number 3 there, then just go here, hit green, and then hit confirm. And then it'll save for it. It doesn't take very long, it's saved. So just make sure you don't unpower it off or anything. You don't want to mess up your save file. Let's see if I can... So there's a little fire, a radiation effect that radiates around. So there's a variety of different magic stuff that you'll unlock as you play through the game. But it's really fun, and it's definitely one I think you guys should check out if you like old school action RPGs and you've never played this before. I highly recommend it on the Dreamcast. It's a fairly cheap game. It's anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks, and it'll take you about 15 hours, 10-15 hours, depending if you do everything, try to find all the secrets and everything, maybe do a little bit of grinding and stuff to beat the game, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Alright, well, hope you guys enjoyed that look at Silver. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I had originally played the demo on one of the Dreamcast demo discs, and that's what made me fall in love with the game, and so I eventually bought a copy, but I had mentioned in the gameplay clip, I never actually beat this game. I played it several different times and kept starting over and over, but this time I want to stick with it and actually beat it so I can see the ending of it, because I really have been having fun with it. I love that you can recruit other characters and they have different abilities. Now, I didn't mention in the gameplay clip, but there are different attacks you can do with the characters, where they have your basic attack by pressing the the A button, I think it is, and then the other one is if you hold the right trigger button and use the attack button, you can actually do different attacks, which is really cool. You can do some heavy attacks and slash attacks, and you can do an attack where you turn around behind you. Just really awesome, huge variety of different creatures. I like the graphics on it. We're talking about an old Dreamcast game, so you're not going to be expecting modern graphics, but it looks pretty good for an old Dreamcast game. Good voice acting as well, and just an overall really fun and enjoyable experience. So if you guys got a Dreamcast and you like these old school action RPGs, I highly recommend you check out Silver. Fairly cheap too, you're looking $10-$20 to get a copy. Not very expensive at all, and it's definitely worth checking out. You can also get it on PC, obviously, if you want to, but I like it for the Dreamcast, and that's what I've been playing on, so definitely think you guys should check it out. Quick little recap. We talked about Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, an awesome first-person shooter, retro graphics, so it looks like it's an old shooter from the 90s. Highly recommend you check it out. It's a really awesome game. If you love Warhammer, you'll love it. And then, of course, we talked about Silver, a really sweet isometric action RPG, classic game. Definitely recommend it if you love those. You'll enjoy this game. So let me know your guys' thoughts if you played either of these titles. Love to hear about the games you guys have been playing. And if you have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys. Have an amazing day. And Sleepy will see you next time.